Vendor lists built my channel. They built my brand. And in so many ways, they built me.
She's an icon, she's a legend, and she is the moment. Now come on now.
2025 was the year I stepped back, rebuilt my foundation, and watched my entire life shift. And now that I'm stepping into a new season, it wouldn't feel right closing out the year without giving you the one thing that built us in the first place. I'm not giving you just a vendor list, but I'm giving you the entire blueprint. I'm giving you a way of sourcing, curating your own vendor list, and building your boutique in a way that'll carry you through the entire 2026. So watch closely. This video is made for the ones who are truly building. Before we get into wholesale vendors, let me explain something. This blueprint works because I don't just shop wholesale vendors. I shop intention first. Whenever I source inventory, I look at 6 things. 1, the fit. Will this piece flatter multiple body types? 2, the fabric. Does it drape cleanly? Does the fabric feel intentional? 3, frequency. Is this item a one-time wear? Or is this item something my customer will reach for again and again? 4, construction. Look at the stitching, the lining, the zippers. Look at the things that most boutiques will ignore. 5, the story. Does this garment fit the story you're telling as a brand? And number 6, scalability. Can you grow with this category? Now let's start with the wholesale vendors. The first category is going to focus on essential apparel wholesale vendors. When I'm building the foundation of a collection, I always start with the pieces that are going to keep your store alive. Those are the items that your customers will reach for every week. Essentials are your sell-through heroes. They are not loud pieces, but they are the pieces that your customers will wear the most. Essential wholesale vendors understand 3 things: fit, fabric, and frequency. So to understand how to source essential vendors, let's break it down. First, look at the fabric weight. You want pieces that feel substantial and not thin or flimsy. Second, the recovery. A good essential item will snap back to shape even after you wear it multiple times. Third, the color palette. Essentials typically come in a ton of colors, but this is truly where your neutrals will live. So you have the beiges, the blacks, the browns, the creams, white. Number 4, fit reliability. If the vendor's essential fits consistently, then that's a vendor you can grow with. Your essentials are your daily drivers. So think about your leggings, your t-shirts, those rib knit tops, hoodies. Offer good quality essentials and you have a repeat customer. So for my beginner boutiques, I'm always looking for vendors for you with easy minimums and predictable sizing. Vendors who will allow you to test styles without risking your entire budget. And then as you grow, you move into fabric first vendors. These are the suppliers that invest in rich textured materials. They focus on cleaner silhouettes and they create higher quality basics. And if you want your boutique to truly look elevated, even your basics needs a presence. Your essentials should feel like they belong in a lifestyle brand and not in just any store. So if you want long-term profit, start here because your margins live in the essentials. And let me save you on some mistakes because I have made them. These are some buyer mistakes to avoid. Mistake number 1 is buying too many colors. As I mentioned, essentials typically come in various colors. Stick to maybe 3 to 5 core colors max. This will depend on the size of your boutique and the size of your buy, but don't go over more than 5 of a single style. Mistake number 2, buying essentials with trendy cuts. Trends belong in trends. Your essentials should be timeless. Mistake number 3, ignoring fabric composition. Make sure you read the description, read the labels. It'll tell you everything that you need to know. Mistake number 4, over ordering. Now, essentials, they do turn fast, but you don't need deep stock to start out. Now, if you want to learn why essentials keep your store alive, how to build a year-round essentials program, or even hear how essentials paid my bills when the trends failed, then make sure you comment essentials below. I'll do a deeper dive into essentials because I think it's one of the categories that's truly missed. Let's get into category 2 with holiday/party wear. Holiday and occasion wear is your boutique's time to sparkle. This is where visual impact matters because these are the pieces that makes your customer stop scrolling. When I source for this category, I look for the fabrics that are doing the talking. Sequins, satins, velvets, metallics, and even feather trims. Basically anything that can catch the light. So here's how I source for this category. The fabric drama. So sequins, they catch the light. Look for satins that glide, and look for velvets that have depth. Let's talk about stretch versus structure. A holiday dress does need shape, but it also needs to be able to move with you. A truly good party dress vendor understands the balance between stretch and structure. You want silhouettes that hold shape, but also move with the body. And then for that finishing quality, remember holiday lights expose everything. Bad stitching, thin lining, and even cheap zippers. So the finishings matter here more than anywhere else. And because the holiday category turns fast, I'm going to source from suppliers that can ship quickly and consistently. So if you want pieces that photograph beautifully and sell instantly in December, these are the wholesale vendors you should visit. If you're planning for 2026, buy early. October is planning, November is shooting, December is selling. That's your holiday schedule. In October, you should plan and buy your holiday inventory. In November, you should shoot and list your holiday inventory. In December, that's the month you must sell through. You don't want to carry too much of your holiday inventory into the new year. Knitwear is either where boutiques either blend in or they stand out. When I'm shopping for knits, I'm looking at the hand feel, the weight, and the stitching. So let's take a deeper dive at what I'm looking at when I'm shopping for knits. Number one, I'm looking at the gauges. Thicker gauges feel more premium. Number two, I'm thinking about the hand feel. If it feels cheap in your hand, it'll look cheap on your website. Number three, I want a variety of stitches. And when I'm talking about stitches, I'm talking about cable knits, rib knits, and waffle textures because the various stitches add dimension. And then I'm looking at trendy pieces. So for example, zip polos or our quarter zips that all the men are talking about, mock necks, or even oversized drapes. I would add in at least 2 to 3 trendy sweaters per drop. Starter knits are great for building volume. So those soft, cozy silhouettes that add layer. But once you're ready to elevate, look for knit vendors that specialize in premium blends and rich textures. These are the pieces that last longer and they photograph better. And remember, fall buying starts early. Don't wait until December to start buying your sweaters. Start early. And before we move on, let me give you a quick fall-winter buying strategy because this is a big season that can make or break your inventory. Firstly, you'll want to buy early. Fall starts in the fashion world long before it actually starts in the weather. If you wait until it gets cold, you're already too late. Secondly, don't overstock. Start small, test out pieces, and reorder what your customers are actually reacting to and are truly buying from you. And keep your colors tight, 2 to 3 max, maybe even keep it to neutrals only. And third, buy for your climate. So our colder climates need heavier weight, so those chunky knit sweaters, heavier denim, and true layering pieces, while the warmer climates need the look without the actual heat. So look for lightweight sweaters. Look for shackets instead of true jackets and coats. And look for breathable long sleeves. A smart fall winter buy is strategic. It's not seasonal. Number 4, I'm combining denim and streetwear. Denim is a commitment piece. Your customers can tell right away if you're choosing the right denim vendors. Look at the wash quality. Look for denim with clean fading and consistent dye. Pay attention to the stretch. If it's too stretchy, it won't hold shape. If it's too stiff, it won't sell. And then for recovery. Recovery will tell you how jeans will hold up after multiple wears. For beginners, stick with wholesale vendors who offer flexible minimums and different cuts that fit a wide range of bodies. And then as your brand grows, you can start sourcing from denim houses that invest in wash quality, stitching precision, hardware, and stretch recovery. Now for streetwear, fabric is everything. You cannot fake fabric density. A heavy hoodie feels expensive and a thin hoodie feels like fast fashion. And if you want to expand into men's or unisex, This category is the category that makes it easy without changing your brand's identity. Now for the boutiques that want a clean editorial look, premium denim brands will completely transform that aesthetic. Quick denim update for 2026. Skinny jeans aren't coming back, but structure is. This year you'll see cleaner lines, straight legs, subtle flares, and premium washes that look elevated without even trying. Think minimal distressing, strong silhouettes, and denim that feels tailored, not just trendy. If you're buying denim for 2026, think polished, structured, and timeless. Accessories are the silent profit makers in your boutique. They complete the look without actually raising your overhead. Here's what I look for when shopping at accessory vendors. For the handbag structure, look for clean stitching, strong hardware, and defined silhouettes. For the jewelry, look at the plating. The gold tone shouldn't fade after one wear. And for footwear, look for consistency in sizing, especially when it comes to boots and heels. I usually start out my beginners with fast fashion accessory vendors. That's because they allow you to test trends quickly. Then I introduce low MOQ jewelry vendors, the ones with better plating and longer wear. Now for the handbags, this is where elevation shows. This can instantly change the way your brand feels. And adding in footwear, this is where you turn your boutique into a full lifestyle destination. This category is all about margin and identity. Let me give you a quick margin math moment, because this is where most boutiques tend to leave money on the table, and we are gonna stop doing that. Now your average clothing margin sits somewhere usually around 50 to 60%, right? But your accessories, those can hit 100, 150, sometimes even 200% margin. So here's why this matters. If your customer buys one top for $38, your average order value is only $38. But if your customer adds in a necklace that only costs $16, yet that necklace only cost you $4, your average order value jumps up to $54. Yet your profit almost doubles. And that's without doubling your workload. Accessories are quiet, they don't take up too much space, they don't require sizes, and they can turn a single item purchase into a multiple item cart. So if you want to increase your boutique's revenue without increasing your inventory, add accessories to every drop. A great boutique isn't built on more clothing, it's built on smarter margin math. Now for no licensed wholesale vendors or startup friendly wholesale vendors. No licensed wholesale vendors are your training ground. They let you experiment without risking your entire budget. I tend to look for wholesale vendors that offer single items or small pre-packs. This is the perfect way to test trends and to help you understand your customers. No licensed wholesale vendors are great if you're still building the foundation of your business. Some no licensed wholesale vendors will offer pre-packs, which will help you understand sizing and fit across multiple bodies. This category is perfect for boutiques who are launching with limited capital. You can still build a beautiful, profitable collection with strategy. And once you figure out what your customers want, you can graduate to the bigger wholesale vendors. So start small, study what sells, and scale strategically. Let's talk about one of the smartest buying strategies that you can use in your boutique, the test versus scale method. So when you're introducing a new style, a new category, or you're working with a vendor for the first time, you should always test before you commit. That means buying one unit, one pre-pack, or the smallest MOQ possible. And when you're testing, test the fit, test the fabric, pay attention to your customer clicks, and look to see if the style matches your brand identity. Once you see that proof, so the customers are starting to add it to cart, when you're getting those clicks, the engagement on social media, maybe even waitlist signups, or that early sell-through, then that's when you scale. And scaling means buying the full pack, not just a sample, or doubling up on your quantities that you initially purchased. Maybe even adding in more colors or variations. Testing protects your budget. Scaling amplifies what already works. A boutique that tests everything just wastes money. A boutique that scales everything loses money. But a boutique that knows when to test and knows when to scale, that boutique wins consistently. Category 7, editorial vendors, or some of you may call them high-end vendors or premium vendors. Statement pieces are for boutiques that want to stand out, not blend into the trend cycle. These aren't your everyday items. These are the conversation starters. You have architectural silhouettes, unexpected texture, and fabrics that just move differently. These vendors specialize in pieces that belong in editorials, lookbooks, and maybe on someone's Instagram feed. Even if you only buy a handful of items from this category, they will shape your brand identity. Now, this is where your boutique becomes a brand, not just a store. Now, you only need 2 to 5 statement pieces per drop, and here's why. So here's the truth about statement pieces. You don't need a whole rack of them. You only need 2 to 3 per drop, and they'll do more for your brand than 10 trending items could ever do. Statement pieces, they set the tone. They tell your customers, now this is the level my boutique plays at. They create the mood. They generate your aesthetic. They add personality to your collection. And they also make the rest of your inventory look elevated. A few strong statement pieces anchor your entire collection. They attract attention, increase your perceived value, and they make your basics sell better. Sounds crazy, I know, but that's the psychology behind statement pieces. It's quality over quantity. Now that's how you build a brand, not just a store. The sourcing mindset for 2026 is going to be different than any other year. This isn't going to be the year to chase volume. It's going to be the year to chase quality over quantity. Your customers are now smarter. They really don't want 20 new arrivals every week. They just want the right pieces. Pieces that feel intentional and elevated. And it better be worth every penny. Now that's where the elevated basics come in. Not just plain tees, but basics with structure. Premium fabrics, clean lines, and a visual presence. Basics that look luxury even when they're simple. When your essentials feel elevated, your entire boutique looks elevated. But sourcing isn't just about the clothes. It's also about the storytelling. What does your brand stand for? What's the mood? What's the lifestyle? What's the feeling that you want your customers to buy into? Your vendors, they supply the inventory, but you supply the identity. And that's the part that most boutiques tend to miss. Vendors alone cannot save your brand. You can have access to every vendor in the industry. I can continue to give you wholesale vendors. But if you don't understand your point of view, your aesthetic, your ideal customer, your photography style, your messaging, then the clothes won't connect. In 2026, sourcing isn't just shopping, it's curating. It's choosing fewer items with a greater impact. It's finding pieces that tells the story that your brand is trying to communicate. Because the future of boutiques, giving you a little hint here, it isn't about having the most inventory. It's about having the most intentional inventory. Now this is going to be something for you to carry on into 2026. Here's how to build a clean 12-month buying calendar for your boutique. Step 1, map out your main seasons. You have resort, spring, summer, fall, winter, pre-fall, and holiday. Which ones are the main seasons for you? Step 2, assign each season a month. So let's say January through March is going to be spring. April through June is summer. July through September is fall. And October through December is your holiday/season. Then from there, step 3, you're going to plan backwards. For every seasonal drop, buy 6 to 10 weeks early. Shoot 4 to 6 weeks early. And make sure you launch on time. Step 4, sync to trend cycles. And what I mean by that is do a trend check every quarter and lock in on 1 or 2 trend stories, plus elevated basics. Step 5, plan your transitions. Bridge months need layers. So light knits going into spring from winter, shackets going into fall, and then those cozy sets going into winter. Step 6, set buying windows. So summer buys will happen in March, fall knits and denim in June, and then holiday sparkle in August. And lastly, step number 7, add in those test versus scale checkpoints. And if you don't know what I mean by test versus scale, because you probably skipped it in this video, I'll put the time right here so you can go back and watch what test versus scale method is. But for those of you that understand what test versus scale method is now, test small in week 1 and then scale only your best sellers in weeks 2 to 3. Now that's a full year calendar. You don't have to follow that exact calendar, but that's to give you an idea how to create your 12-month calendar. And make sure you have it all mapped out in advance. This is the 2025 Fashion Wholesale Vendor Blueprint. Not a list, not a guide, a philosophy, a way of sourcing that can grow with you season after season. If you want real vendors, rewind, then pause and study. I built this video for the builders, not the skimmers, because the rebrand begins in 2026. Every wholesale vendor featured in this video, I have created a free full wholesale vendor list. Get the full wholesale vendor list at iconicfashionfigure.com, and I'll also have the direct link in the comments down below. And don't forget to turn on your notifications, like this video, comment, and be sure to share it with your favorite boutique owner.